So Sony has created a new studio. The studio is called Team LFG. Now this new studio comprises of developers from Destiny, Halo and League of Legends. We also have confirmation that Battlefield 6 will be coming out next year. EA is gearing up for a major summer reveal and has officially locked in a release window for March 2026. But that's not all. Hideo Kojima has dropped some insider information on how juggernaut like GTA 6 is shaking up the release dates for other big titles, including his own Death Stranding 2. Plus, Mafia: The Old Country just got its rating, and let's just say it's as gritty and as intense as you would expect it to be. MindsEye, the gameplay has leaked online. What do we know about the game from what we've seen so far? Well, if you stay tuned, I'll tell you what we know. Meanwhile, EA is feeling pretty good about GTA 6's delay, and they're doubling down on keeping their game prices steady, making them the second major publisher alongside Sony to resist the price hikes we're seeing from Microsoft and Nintendo. And for the first time in 5 years, consumer spending on video games is dropping. Have gamers finally had enough of paying inflated prices, and are big publishers finally going to be paying attention? Stick around and we'll cover all of this shortly. Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. We have more gaming and PlayStation news, rumours and leaks to go over. As always, a huge shout out to the God of War and Uncharted channel members. And if you enjoyed today's video, please show your support by hitting that like button. So we're starting off with Sony and their creation of a new studio. So Sony Interactive Entertainment has just unveiled a brand new addition to its PlayStation Studios lineup, a development team called Team LFG. The announcement was made by Herman Hulst, the head of PlayStation Studios, who emphasized the ambitious nature of the studio's current project, which is still in incubation stage. The term LFG stands for Looking For Group, which is a phrase commonly used in online gaming communities when players are searching for teammates to tackle challenges together. So the name itself gives us a glimpse into the studio's core mission, which is fostering connection, community, and sharing gaming experiences. Team LFG is based in Washington, but it's not just confined to one location. The studio includes both on-site and remote developers working from various parts of the United States and Canada. Now, what makes this particular team intriguing is its blend of industry veterans and fresh creative talent. The roster boasts individuals who have previously worked on some of the biggest titles in gaming, games like Destiny, Halo, League of Legends, Fortnite, Roblox, and Rec Room. This combination of experienced developers and new voices positions Team LFG as a studio with a diverse range of perspectives and a focus on innovative, action-driven gameplay. The team's mission, as outlined by Hulst and Team LFG's leadership, is centered on creating games that feel rich in social connection. They want players to log in and instantly feel a sense of belonging, whether that's by recognizing familiar teammates or by pulling off memorable plays that become the stuff of in-game legends. According to the studio, it's all about capturing those exhilarating moments when a well-executed strategy or a perfectly timed move changes the course of a match. While Team LFG's exact project remains under wraps, the focus on creating exceptional action-based gameplay combined with a strong emphasis on community interaction suggests that the studio could be working on something multiplayer-centric, possibly a live service title designed to keep players engaged over the long haul. Given the pedigree of the developers involved, some of whom have helped shape some of the most impactful multiplayer experiences within the gaming industry, naturally expectations are going to be high. For Sony, the formation of Team LFG marks another step in its ongoing strategy to expand its PlayStation Studios network, bringing in talent capable of delivering high-quality, engaging multiplayer experiences. As gaming continues to evolve, so too does Sony's approach, investing not just in narrative-driven single-player experiences, but also expanding its studios in dynamic, social-driven multiplayer worlds. Well, with Team LFG now in the mix, it'll be interesting to see how the studio's vision of community-focused gaming translates into its first major project. Well, there we have it, another studio, which by the looks of it is going to be focusing on live service multiplayer style gaming, given the history of the developers and the games that they've worked on in the past. Now, probably a lot of you are thinking, here we go again, multiplayer games. But I'm going to look at this from another perspective. If this means that Sony first-party studios can now just focus on single-player blockbuster games and let studios like this, Team LFG, make multiplayer games, keep the first party studios cooking at what they're good at doing, then you know what? I reckon that's a good thing. But you let me know your thoughts in the comments, and let's move on. EA has officially announced plans to release the next Battlefield game by March 2026. This revelation came during EA's latest financial report, where CEO Andrew Wilson described the upcoming title as a critical step in delivering the next wave of blockbuster entertainment under the Battlefield franchise. The game is set to receive a full public reveal this summer, offering fans a glimpse of what's to come. Meanwhile, EA has also confirmed that the much anticipated Skate will be launched in the next fiscal year ending April 2026. Skate has been in early access testing, with EA initially aiming to release it within the current calendar year. Now, it seems the launch window has changed, aligning with the company's broader release strategy. Battlefield's development has been a major focus for EA, particularly given the backlash received over Battlefield 2042. Learning from past mistakes, EA is taking a more transparent approach this time around. The new Battlefield has been undergoing close testing since March, with select players gaining access to the game. Despite NDA agreements, leaked footage and gameplay details have inevitably surfaced online, generating both excitement and speculation. DICE, who is the primary studio behind Battlefield's multiplayer component, recently provided an update on X, announcing that testing would expand this month to include more players across Europe, North America, and from Asia. And according to DICE, the current testing phases includes fine-tuning weapons archetypes, damaged vehicles, combat pacing mechanics, and destructible environments, which was a hallmark feature of the Battlefield series. DICE has also stated that it is also closely monitoring player feedback on destruction mechanics, aiming to refine how destructible objects interact with the environment across multiple maps. This focus on player feedback marks a shift in EA's strategy, aiming to regain community trust after the controversial reception of Battlefield 2042. Unlike previous iterations, the next Battlefield is being developed as a connected universe set in the modern era. The development is being handled by 4 internal EA studios, collectively referred to as the Battlefield Studios. DICE is leading the charge on multiplayer, Motive is contributing to multiplayer maps and single-player content, Criterion is developing single-player missions, and Ripple Effect is creating a new experience for the series. Now, Battlefield 6's launch window appears to have gained further clarity following Rockstar Games' recent announcement that GTA 6 will now be released on May 26, 2026. Originally slated for fall 2025, the delay of GTA 6 has created a potential less crowded launch window for Battlefield. During a Q&A session with investors, EA's Andrew Wilson addressed questions regarding how the delay of GTA 6 might impact Battlefield's launch and performance expectations. And while Wilson refrained from commenting directly on other company strategies, he suggested that the change in release windows for GTA 6 could provide Battlefield with a more favorable release window. According to Wilson, EA has been strategically positioning Battlefield for a specific launch period, but with a delay of GTA 6, the opportunity to capture a larger audience may have expanded. Despite the optimism surrounding the release window, Battlefield's development is still ongoing, and it involves extensive testing through EA Battlefield's Labs initiative. With multiple studios working on distinct aspects of the game, the development process is more collaborative and ambitious than previous entries in the series. EA's more open approach to development, coupled with a renewed emphasis on player feedback, indicates that the company is keen to avoid the missteps that plagued Battlefield 2042. With the summer reveal just around the corner, how are you feeling about Battlefield 6? I want to see a closer look at how EA plans to deliver a next-gen Battlefield experience, especially the destructive environments. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and let's move on. So Hideo Kojima, the mastermind behind Death Stranding and the legendary Metal Gear Solid series, has opened up about the release schedule of the GTA 6 game and how it's impacting other publishers, including his own plans for Death Stranding 2. Now, he goes into more detail during his radio show, and Kojima revealed that he initially intended for Death Stranding 2 to launch in September 2025. However, considering the potential impact of GTA 6, he opted to move the release window to June 2025. The insight was shared and translated by Twitter user Genki JPN, who reported that Kojima emphasized how major titles like GTA 6 can influence the entire industry. According to Kojima, If GTA 6 were officially slated for November, it would have caused a significant challenge, forcing other publishers to adjust their schedules to avoid going head-to-head with one of the biggest gaming franchises in the world. And with GTA 6 now being pushed into 2026, it's created a more favourable launch window for other titles. Kojima Productions can avoid direct competition with Rockstar's colossal open-world release. It makes a lot of sense, and as mentioned earlier, the CEO of EA also echoing similar sentiments. It gives games towards the end of this year and early next year an opportunity to capitalize. But what's going to happen to games that are going to be released mid-2026? We're going to have this problem again, aren't we? So many publishers are going to try and not release anything post-April to avoid it clashing with GTA 6. Let me know your thoughts on this and let's move on. The Entertainment Software Rating Board, the ESRB, has officially rated the upcoming Mafia: The Old Country, shedding light on what players can expect from the next installment in the iconic crime saga. According to the ESRB's description, the game maintains the gritty and violent tone that fans have come to expect from the series. Players will follow Enzo Favara as he rises through the ranks of a powerful mafia family in 1905 Sicily. Now, the ESRB ratings has highlighted intense violence, extortion, and criminal activities as central components of the gameplay. Missions involve using weapons like pistols, shotguns, and explosives to take down enemies, with blood splatter effects and realistic cries of pain adding to the atmosphere. Stealth takedowns and close-range executions are also part of the gameplay, depicting gruesome acts such as slitting throats and stabbing opponents from behind. Cutscenes in the Mafia: The Old Country are particularly graphic, featuring scenes like a man being beaten to death while tied to a chair and another involving his throat slit at close range. The game also includes suggestive content, with characters visiting brothels and references to adult themes, alcohol consumption, and strong language. Mafia: The Old Country is currently expected to release on August the 8th, 2025, according to a leaked schedule from a PAX East panel. How do you feel about Mafia: The Old Country? Are you looking forward to it? A gameplay trailer is set to debut soon, and it should provide us with our first official look at the game, the gameplay, and the game mechanics. Please share your thoughts in the comments down below, and let's move on. MindsEye, the upcoming open-world game led by GTA veteran Leslie Benzies, has experienced an unfortunate game leak just as Rockstar released the latest trailer for GTA 6. Now, whilst MindsEye might look like an open-world game, it's actually been designed in a way that gives the appearance of being an open-world game, but it's actually more structured and linear within its gameplay. You don't have complete freedom to explore vast environments, interact with various elements, and complete missions in any order. MindsEye may present large open areas, but will still guide you through a specific path or set of objectives. It's reminiscent of classic Mafia titles, focusing on narrative-driven action rather than sprawling sandbox-style gameplay. The leaked footage, which has surfaced on forums like Reset Era, showcases sequences involving vehicle chases and intense combat in an industrial setting. While the gameplay visuals appear polished, some critics have noted that it feels reminiscent of older console generations, particularly the PS3 era. And despite this, some players are optimistic that the game's more focused, single-player campaign could offer a refreshing change of pace from today's sprawling open-world epics. MindsEye's narrative centers on protagonist Jacob Diaz, who is on a quest to uncover the origins of a mysterious neural implant. While the concept has potential, early impressions of the dialogue and story have been mixed, with some concerns that it may come off as generic. MindsEye is set to release on June 10th, 2025. What are your thoughts on the game? I mean, I like the concept and the premise of the game, and I've been exposed to some of the leaks, and I have to say, I'm not blown away, I've got to be honest. But then again, the leaks could have been from an older build of the game, but I'd like to think with Benzies' experience, he'd be able to put out a good game. I mean, the game may not challenge the biggest open world titles, but it can still provide a solid summer gaming experience for people who enjoy narrative-driven action games. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments, and let's move on. Now, I mentioned EA earlier in reference to Battlefield, however, there is just one more thing. EA has indicated that it currently has no plans to increase the price of its video games, even as other major companies within the gaming industry begin to announce price hikes for upcoming titles. A statement was made during a Q&A session in EA's Q4 and FY 2025 earnings conference call, where a caller inquired about EA's stance on the pricing power of its intellectual properties and whether the company would consider following in the footsteps of its competitors by raising prices. Responding to the question, EA CEO Andrew Wilson emphasized that the company's focus remains on delivering value to its players, regardless of the price point of the products. Wilson noted that EA's business model has significantly evolved over the past decade. While the company once relied heavily on physical game sales, it now offers a range of pricing models from free-to-play games to premium deluxe editions. He goes on to say that at the end of the day, whether we're doing something that costs $1 or something that costs $10 or something that costs $100, our objective is always delivering incredible quality and exceptional value to our player base. He further explained that EA's strategy is not just about charging more, but ensuring that players feel they are receiving exceptional quality and value for the price they pay. EA CFO echoed this sentiment, adding that the company has not made any changes to its pricing strategy at this time. The stance comes at a time when other major publishers are beginning to raise their game prices. Earlier in the year, we saw Nintendo announce that its upcoming Mario Kart World for the Switch 2 would be priced at $80, while Donkey Kong Bonanza would cost $70. Microsoft recently followed suit, revealing plans to charge $80 for some of its first-party games, including the next Call of Duty installment. Good to hear that EA are keeping prices the same. I want more publishers to come out and address this and just reaffirm that they're not going to increase prices just yet. It's a good move on their part and would install some consumer confidence that we're not all about to get shafted by the corpse. Anyway, let's move on. A new report from UK video game trade body UKIE has revealed that consumer spending on video games in the UK declined for the first time in 5 years. According to the report, the total market valuation dropped slightly to 7.6 billion from 7.8 billion, which was in 2023. This marks the first year-over-year decline since 2019, when the market valuation fell from 5.7 billion to 5.3 billion. The report offers a detailed breakdown of various segments within the UK gaming industry. Box software also saw a decline. It was actually quite significant, a 34% year-on-year decline, reflecting the growing shift towards digital sales. Digital console games, however, experienced a modest 3.5% increase, while spending on mobile games rose by 8.1%. On the hardware front, console sales dropped by 24% due to slower sales of the PS5 and Xbox Series X and S, as well as the aging Nintendo Switch, which is now in its 8th year. Despite the overall decline in market valuation, UKIE notes that the UK gaming sector is still in a much stronger position than it was a decade ago, which is really good to know. The market has effectively doubled in size since 2013, when it was last valued at 3.4 billion. The report highlights a surge in independent gaming studios with a 24% increase in incorporated gaming SMEs during Q3 of 2024. Very interesting report highlighting that for the first time in 5 years, consumers are not spending as much on video games. Alarm bells will start ringing with publishers when they start to see reports like these, but it would also be interesting to see similar reports from other countries like the US, Central Europe, and from across Asia too, to see if other regions have had similar trends. Will this have any impact on the price of gaming going forward? Are the big corps going to pay attention and do something about this? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video.